Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. Jasmine from the Jasmine brand is here.
Yes.
And Mano is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and it's time for that Yee tea. Now, YK Osiris is in the news alongside Sukihana. He has been accused of sexual assault. There's a video that has surfaced of him forcing himself on Sukihana. They were commentating on the Crew League basketball tournament in Atlanta over the weekend, and he's behind her. She's also sitting next to Little Duval, Funny Marco. He's rubbing her shoulders before he leans in, and then he tries to kind of move her head back to kiss her, and she's actually moves away and is like, stop it. And people are smiling and laughing throughout it. Eventually he does walk away.
Sheesh.
Wow. Can't even play like that, man.
Yeah, I don't understand. And I see some people saying things like, oh, well, her music, well, the way she presents herself. I don't care if you are outside butt naked doing, nobody has the right
Yeah, they ain't got nothing to do with it.
to touch you. That is not on
You trying to kiss me?
that person. That's
happening?
on you to know that you're not allowed to go and touch or violate anybody in any way.
Nobody's entitled to your space or energy, no matter what you do.
You're right.
Now, I saw on social media, somebody said, yuck, besides YK Osiris performing the actual abuse, Little Duval daring him to tongue kiss her, then turning a blind eye is so disgusting. Stop giving these men platforms to abuse black women. Another person said, one is openly sexually assaulting her. The two sitting beside are looking stuck on stupid instead of checking YK Osiris, creepy rapists, and the N-words in the background just watching. I hate y'all for this. All right. And so no matter what your music is, nobody ever, no matter what you wear, no matter what you say, nobody is allowed to just try to put their hands on you and kiss you or touch you or anything or disrespect you in any way.
Right.
All right, now neither YK Osiris or Sukihana have said anything about this video yet, and there has not been a response. Now, Amber Rose said, are we really going to sit back and let this happen to Sukihana? She was sexually assaulted and no one did anything. This is the entertainment business, and she is an entertainer using her lyrics and her persona as an excuse to physically touch her and force her without her consent is absolutely disgusting. What happened to protect black women? I cried watching that video, and I'm sure a lot of women have as well.
I think it's probably triggering for women, too. It kind of reminds you of things that you may have went through, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes people will be like, oh, well, if that was me, I would have did this. Or,
You would
well,
hope.
she didn't say this. Or
Right.
she should have did this. But in a situation like that, sometimes things happen really quickly.
Yeah.
And even sometimes people get nervous. They laugh. You don't know what you might do in that type of situation.
You would hope you know how to handle it, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you freeze up.
All right. Now let's talk about Tim Anderson, MLB star Tim Anderson from the White Sox. He was in the headlines after a woman, Deja Lene, said that he was the father of her son, her unborn son at the time. And by the way, she's close friends. They always talk about this with Ari Fletcher.
Okay.
So she posted a series of images with Tim Anderson saying that he didn't make it clear that he intended to stay married because he's married. That's what the whole drama
Right,
is.
okay.
To his wife. And she was making it very clear she was never the side piece. That was never what the situation was. So now Tim Anderson is speaking about all of this. He was on the Pivot podcast, and he also had temporarily deactivated his social media accounts. People were really going in on him. Here's what he had to say on the Pivot podcast about what happened with Deja. He's married to Bria Anderson. He's been married since 2017, but apparently he did have a child.
We went to therapy, just really digging into what caused me to, go into these spaces. It's a tough conversation, it's a tough situation. I feel like we did a lot of work as far as, understanding it and showing my love to my wife and to my kids. But, it's something that I'm still going through. Nobody really never understood, what I was going through when I was making those decisions. But ultimately, the goal was never to really play with anybody's feelings. It was more so, I was just trying to, find who I am.
He was trying to find who he was in someone else's
Vagina.
It happens.
I got it.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's what else he had to say as far as cheating and stepping out and having a new son, because you have to own up to that responsibility, right?
Right.
Yeah, this is my son for sure. I never once denied it. I know what it feel like not having your dad around, so 1,000%, I was there, been there, gonna always be there, and gonna always do what's right for my kids, because that's mine, regardless of what anybody says or however he came.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
It puts the whole marriage in a tough spot, but
Yeah. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? You're supposed to take care of your kid.
all right, well,
She gonna stay.
That is your Yeetie. And by the way, shout out to SZA and Lizzo, who are going to be headlining the Made in America Festival this year.
Shout out to SZA.
Yes, so tickets are on sale now if you want to go to Made in America, but they are headlining this year. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. And when we come back, we want to talk about secret names in your phone. Have you ever in your phone put somebody else's name because you were trying to hide something? You know, Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan have their podcast now on the iHeart Network, and we're going to talk about what she said she did in the beginning of their relationship. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.